Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight you're watching me prep spaghetti, a salad, and we're having leftover apple crumble and some Valentine cupcakes with the family. Right now you're just watching me chop up our veggies for the spaghetti. Again, this is like a one pot meal and a family or crowd pleaser. It feeds a lot with very little. For our family, I go between using a pound of ground beef to a pound and a half. It just depends on what we have on hand and how long I'm trying to stretch it for. In this case, we're eating off of it 2 days, but I'm dicing up my peppers and onions. I don't know if you saw my hair for today. I actually did something with it. This is the end of the day, but I actually did my hair today and it looked like an actual human being. So it's actually growing out, so I'm happy about that. For those that saw me vlogging in the beginning, I actually had locks, but another story for another day. But anyway, another thing I usually do with my scraps, whether it's from like my peppers, my onions, or any veggies, I usually try to keep my scraps to use them for my stock or chicken broth and stuff like that. And after I threw it away in the trash a moment ago, I realized real quick, I was like, God darn it, I threw that away. Again, if you're being frugal, hold on, baby. But yeah, so if you're frugal or what have you, or just trying to save, again, use your scraps to make your own broth, vegetable broth, chicken broth, or even beef broth. But yeah, I usually gather my scraps and put them in a Ziploc bag, and I label them with the day that I started collecting the scraps, and then I freeze them. And once my bag gets full, or when I decided I need some, I usually boil it for a while. And as you can see, this one of the crock pots on the counter, so I usually just boil a lot in a crock pot or cook it in a crock pot, because that way, again, I don't have to wait on it. It's healthier as well as more flavorful if you do your own. Anyways, now you're watching me brown the meat. I put the veggies in a while ago, peppers and onions and mushrooms. They were already diced up. I put them in and let them saute for a minute before I decided to add the meat. And that right there is about 2 pounds of ground beef. But again, as I said, we're going to eat off of it for 2 days. And just to fast forward to the end a little bit, we did end up having enough for 2 days, actually a third day, but the rest I've already put in a Ziploc bag and labeled it and put it in our deep freezer because, again, it's hard for us to eat leftovers sometimes because everybody in the house doesn't like spaghetti. We all eat it, but it's one of the things that we can do without. So now I'm just seasoning up my meat here. I don't know if I showed you a moment ago. I got some some cans from, I think, either the food bank or I might have got it from my discount grocery store. And yes, I use a lot of garlic. It's good for you. So you do what works for you. But yeah, I'm just showing you some of the seasons I use to season our beef. But back to the sauce. I'm squirrely, so pay me no mind. So anyway, with the sauce, I noticed, I think at the end of the night or even when I was eating it, I'm like, something's missing. I know a lot of people try their food as they're cooking it, and I usually do, but this day was a really long day, and like I'm in my era, as I said again, holding myself accountable, hence the reason I am trying to video a lot more my journey, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So here, as I'm going back to the cans again, as you can see, most of those say tomato sauce, which I do usually put tomato sauce in my spaghetti sauce. However, on this particular day, I did not use spaghetti sauce, and I was kicking myself when I sat down to eat. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, or what am I missing? And that's what I noticed. So at this point, we're all eating, and everybody was like, it was fine. But I did go back the next day when I reheated it for like leftovers. I added in a jar of spaghetti sauce, and that helped or what have you. But if you don't happen to have spaghetti sauce, you can use tomato sauce. You just need to do a lot more doctoring up, more than I did, to get it to where you need it to be. But I did notice that. So if anyone else noticed that, yeah, I caught it after the fact, but it was fixable. I did add more seasonings off camera, but again, everybody does what works for them. As you see right now, I'm draining the meat. I do see a lot of influencers use paper towels or napkins to like get their grease out of their pan so they don't waste their meat. But again, as I said, I'm trying not to be wasteful, so I can find much more things to do with my paper towels than do that. But again, if it works for you, go right ahead. So I just poured it in a bowl, so once it cools off, I can put it in the trash, because you don't want to pour that down your sink, FYI. That's not good for your drains. But after I did that, I put it back up there to continue browning, and then I added in several cans of tomato sauce. And I did go back to season the tomato sauce a little bit. And again, this is still, at this point, I hadn't recognized that I didn't add spaghetti sauce. But yes, again, you can use what you have. And so that's what I did, and totally just missed that spaghetti sauce, girl. But yeah, and then I added in a can of diced tomatoes for the chunkiness of them. I also have my spaghetti water boiling on the back eye there. But yep, I put this meal together for us the other day, and we ate off of it for 2 days. Again, I'm getting my list together for my postpartum meals for when I come home from having our baby, as well as I breastfeed. So this helps me be prepared in what I need for when I come home. So right now I'm just doing the bare minimum cooking and whatnot, but trying to make sure we're still having nutritious meals at that. So that's what we're doing here. The other things, if you have any other ideas of what to cook for postpartum or freezer meals that is really good or budget friendly or family friendly, leave it and comment down below. I thank you those that have been commenting lately. I do appreciate it. Right now, that's a 2-pound bag of spaghetti noodles. I usually break them in half to fit, to fit them all in the pot. So don't pay me no mind. And I let them boil. I did put like a sprinkle of, I think avocado oil in my water, as well as a pinch of salt, because again, me being pregnant, I try to be mindful of my salt intake. So what I did with the remainder of noodles that we didn't use, I put them back in the container right there, because I don't like having a whole bunch of boxes and plastics in my cabinets. So I put those in there. It's like a spaghetti saver or noodle saver, and I'll use them for next time. The other thing with that is, I totally forgot, guys. So forgive me. Right now you see me preparing the cheese. That is fresh Parmesan. So the rind of the Parmesan, I'm going to save it and probably use that for a casserole or soup or something. I'm not sure, but again, we try to save as much as we can around scraps and all. Those little things give so much dishes flavor. But now I'm putting the Parmesan in a Ziploc bag. I like having fresh Parmesan over my spaghetti, so I shaved up the rest of it and put it in a Ziploc bag. Another helpful cleaning tip for those that have an actual cheese grater, because again, it is healthier to grate your own cheese. I spray my cheese grater so it's easier for cleanup, meaning like I don't have to worry about cheese getting stuck on it or having to run it through the dishwasher. Again, it's just easier for me. And now I'm about to shred sharp cheddar, which is very good as well. It stretches much better than mild cheddar, meaning you can use a lot less and get that bold taste of flavor. It is late, guys, so if you hear my little one, please forgive us. It is bedtime, but we're all off schedule, and I'm working to get us back on schedule. But back to the video. I only shredded, I think, half of that. And again, we only probably used a pinch of it for our salads, but I did go ahead and shred it. And again, I put it in another Ziploc bag, so while the food is cooking, I can have it sitting on the counter and or in the refrigerator so it didn't reach room temperature. But again, it's healthier, and you can even freeze it. So if you're one of those preppers, buy it and freeze it right away. All right, now the spaghetti is about ready. And so I noticed I wasn't filming, so please bear with me. At this point, before you see here, I was actually I had made the noodles separate, and I usually like leave the noodles and the meat sauce separate and let people gauge how many noodles they want, because some of family members love more noodles versus the sauce, and then some of them like more of the meat sauce than the noodles. But as I say, we're in the stretching phase right now, and what I was doing is taking what noodles from the pot and mixing it to the meat sauce to stretch it as far as I could. And you just got a glimpse of that. Another thing I got right there, I just pulled out, was French onions. We like French onions on our salad, and that is a much better buy than the bag you see at Kroger or Walmart. I think the one at Kroger or Walmart is like maybe an 8-ounce package for like $3 to $4. That can right there is like 2 something at Aldi's, and is every bit of 16 ounces or more. And I was like, it tastes exactly the same. My son hasn't even noticed, which I love that for me. So now I'm just showing you some of the sauces, which we pulled out the Caesar and ranch. We have a couple other sauces, but those are the main ones that I pulled out. I also pulled out the toppings, which were eggs, the cheeses that I shredded, the leftover crumble, my Saratoga water, some leftover cupcakes. Again, on the counter back there, I'm still just dicing up the rest of the mushrooms because, again, I'm trying to prep it as I go, because when I'm going to use them again another day, they'll already be cut up and shredded. So, again, I try to prep as I go, because some days are better than other. Being in my 3rd trimester, I don't have the energy. So, I try to work smart and not hard. Also, see, I have some beans back there on the counter for another meal. I gotta clean and soak them, so you'll probably see me a video using those soon. This is the finished product of the spaghetti. I am prepping the counter and all the stuff so we can start doing our plates. As I said, I was tired this night, so I fixed baby girl's plate in my bowl. Everybody else was on their own. I cooked it. They can put it together. So, again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about anything you saw or why I did something, just comment down below and I will get back to you. But let me know how you fix your spaghetti or what you do different. I do have another recipe that we use for spaghetti sometimes, but I will tell you about that in another video. As always, if you're new here, thanks for stopping in. My name is Dee, and if you're not new, welcome back. I hope you guys have an amazing week. And for those that are getting snow or bad weather, please stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for your support. We appreciate you guys. Have a great day.